Hey everybody, Grimble here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to Vinland Saga Episode 7. So that last episode was emotional, man. It really started to hit me at the end, especially with that woman that was caring for and looking after Thorfinn. She had nursed him back to health. She had defended him when his daughter was all, we can't keep him here. He's not going to be good for us. He's going to cause us trouble. And she was just like, look, he's had it rough. He's just a kid. He shouldn't be going through all this. He shouldn't be dealing with war and the things that he's seen. He's probably messed up and he just needs a little love and comfort, and to see that, you know, not all of us English are bad, right? Knowing that he was a Dane. So I really feel that that's what she was trying to do. She was trying to, you know, well, also it was what she believed was right. She didn't think it was right to turn this kid over to the authorities. They even came and asked for him, and she acted like he was her kid. And it was just a very sweet, loving thing to do by this old lady. And it was so sad at the end, so tragic to see that Thorfinn in the end decides to betray her trust, betray her kindness, and help out these pirates, help them find the town and help them raid it and cause havoc. And then just the reaction that she had when she saw Thorfinn fighting those soldiers, and the rage and the brutality that he was showcasing in that moment was just, she couldn't believe it. She couldn't believe what she was seeing, and it made her sad. It made her really sad. I think she was sad for him, right? It feels like she was really upset. Not, maybe a little, obviously, that he betrayed her, but mostly she just saw this child in pain and anguish, and you could tell it was just bothering her. But she also kind of could tell, you could see it in her eyes and her face, that there was nothing she could do for this child at this point. She probably felt like he was just too far gone. And I think Thorfinn noticed it, right? He noticed it for a moment. You could tell they showed flashbacks of him thinking of his mother and sister and his father. And so he was probably recognizing in a moment that he was heading down a bad path. But then you see him kind of shake it off and then just continue to go on with the Vikings and do who knows what. Of course, Askeladd was proud of him and congratulating him for a job well done. He did a good job, good thing. And it must be killing him, right? Because he's slowly becoming what he hates. He hates Askeladd. He wants him dead. It's starting to become a question of, what is he willing to do to get this vengeance on Askeladd, to become stronger and to stick around these guys long enough so that he can duel Askeladd again. He's going along with all these raids and participating in this brutality that these men are exuding on other people, innocent people. And it's going to come to a point where he's not going to be able to forgive himself for the things that he's done just to get to the point of dueling Askeladd again and defeating him for the sake of his father. It's very emotional. I love the story so far. There's so many questions I have as to what's going on in Thorfinn's head, truly. You can kind of see it in his face, but you never know what somebody's actually going through until they either tell you or they show you with their actions. And so far, Thorfinn's actions show that he's willing to do whatever it takes to fulfill what he feels like is his destiny, to avenge his father and kill Askeladd. But yeah, it's not a very good path for him so far. So with that being said, I'm really intrigued to see how this continues on. So let's get into the episode with Vinland Saga Episode 7. If you guys are interested in signing up to my Patreon, you'll be able to take advantage of ad-free content, 3 to 4 weeks early access to all reactions, which for the middle tier and above can include the full-length watch-along reactions. Those that subscribe to the highest tier will also be supporting my game and animation studio, Little Grim Entertainment. You'll have access to a sneak peek look at all of our upcoming games and animated shows.
Early in the 11th century, the invasion of the Vikings and the Danish army continued, becoming more violent every day.
1012 AD, England.
That October, after several years of seemingly endless attacks, there came a turning point.
You wish to withdraw our soldiers from England?
They're not being withdrawn. We're letting them rest. Marching them through the winter would be a waste of good men.
Alright, well, he's not completely crazy.
Summer. That is when we shall show the English the full might of our forces.
Seems kind of old and frail.
Hey, Askeladd. If we're done for the year, then the winter will be rough. We've already raided all the decent villages.
That's a problem.
We'll just migrate like birds. If there's nothing to eat here, we have to go where the food is.
Where are they gonna go? France. Oh boy. I guess there's always a war somewhere, right? Ow!
Retreat!
Ouch! Man. That's gotta be really demoralizing.
Looks like the Franks are fighting each other.
Seem to be having a little bit of trouble. I think I can help out with that.
Looks like the headquarters of a powerful clan. Practically reeks of the smell of treasure, doesn't it? We'll join the attackers, then open that treasury, and everything will belong to us. So Thorfinn, you better get ready.
Here he is.
Make contact with the leader of the attackers, then give him a message. Huh? What's wrong?
Is he sending Thorfinn to say that?
Do you have any idea how many men I've killed?
It's him. It's finally Alex.
I've done enough for you. But still, you want more.
Now what's the matter? Think you deserve a reward? Fine. If you close the deal, I'll give you 3 shiny gold coins.
How long are you gonna run from me?
Ho ho ho, easy now. I was only kidding around with you. However, I believe that reward would cost a bit more. Say the head of a general, maybe?
Wow. I mean, why doesn't he just attack him?
You sure it's wise tasking him with the negotiations?
Why is he doing the Naruto run?
It's not uncommon for the messenger to die before they even speak. But what's the harm in risking a stray?
Cold.
What do you want, little boy? This is no place for a child like you.
I'm an envoy. Does anyone here know how to speak Norse?
Wouldn't do that.
Does anyone here speak Norse?
Probably should have thought about that before sending him out.
A Normandy. Those are the Northerners wreaking havoc in England.
Those are the Northerners wreaking havoc in England.
Your strategy will fail. Assaulting the front gate only sends your men to death.
What is this guy? Looks like a frog.
That's a fool's errand. The waters in the river that enter it are far too treacherous. Not to mention the waterfall.
Just to be clear, are you refusing?
Are you refusing?
In that case, Askeladd and his men will join up with the fortress. Death won't change that. Without my signal that you agree to their terms, 100 fierce Northerners become your enemy.
This guy's freaking me out.
Excellency.
However, if your words prove false, we'll remove your head from its shoulders.
It's important to him. Accidentally starts a forest fire.
That's Thorfinn's signal. 1 shot high, 2 low.
Let's move out. We'll climb up the pass before the moon rises more.
Hey, what's that?
Up there! On top of the mountain! Dragon!
Oh, God.
A dragon, eh?
Guy's so weird.
Oh boy. Your brothers in arms are nowhere to be seen.
Just start the assault, you fat ass. They'll be here.
Make sure you translate that.
Troops advance!
Troops advance! Charge!
They're throwing stones? I was gonna say, where are the arrows? Ouch.
Every time! Curse it all! Sacrifice as many men as you have to!
Wow. Jackass.
Tell me, which of their men is the leader?
You see the one with the feathered helmet? That's him.
Good to know.
Is he gonna go take him out?
Hey, you liar! Stop him! Don't let him get away!
Running towards the battle.
I'll kill you!
Looks like a titan. Very tiny titan. Yes. His face. Oh man, that was an entrance. Here come the dragons. God, they're carrying it with him on it. Oh man. Damn, that is a jump. Nice.
Now! Everybody roll!
They didn't see that coming.
Right! Those were our allies! Troops advance! Bring down that fortress!
They carried their ships over the mountain.
Calm down, men! Send 80 from the east wall to the harbor! Crossbows, with me!
Uh-oh.
Gods, they can pierce our shields from that distance?
Wow. Crossbows, I guess, yeah.
They've got crossbows.
Yeah.
May have some casualties.
They make for easy targets now! Take as many as you can before they land!
Uh-oh.
A child?
Oh, man. Is he Zoro? Is he using three sword style? Ooh. Off with his head.
Damn it!
Does he need the head for something?
Go! Show them a fight!
Oh, the head of a general. That's right, he needs that. Just clicked.
So go on and make quick work of those fools.
Ooh. Ow. Oh. Wow. That. Yeah.
The Normani's did this? Barbaric.
I knew this fortress would be no match for my brilliant military strategy!
Oh, come on, Frog Titan.
Their commander was among those killed in battle. The few who survived to surrender say it was a child.
was the work of that brat. Never underestimate a Normani. If we allow them to leave now, they could turn against us.
Uh-oh.
General Jabbathy! Urgent message!
You may speak. What is it?
The treasury!
Huh?
They already took it all.
Where is my treasure?
Yes.
We each take half the spoils, right? Your half is the victory. And our half is the treasure.
Seems fair.
It seems more than fair. After all, you keep the fortress.
Yeah.
I'll kill you!
No, ready the ships! But sir, the ships in the fortress's harbor have been destroyed.
Uh-oh.
Thorfinn hasn't returned.
No kidding. Well, he must be dead then. That's more treasure
Wow.
for the rest of us.
There's your head.
The head of a general.
So you got it.
I'll be damned.
You promised. No escaping it now. I, warrior of Iceland, son of Thorfinn, challenge you to a duel, Askeladd.
This again.
I, Askeladd, son of Olaf, accept this challenge from Thorfinn. But let's save it for later.
You know what? Who cares if a dragon shows up? I'm not scared.
That's right!
It's a dragon!
But it's a dragon. Oh. That's a tough ship.
Lovely meeting you, Franks!
Winter's no problem now! We're Richmond!
Oh, nice. He's not gonna forget. All right, so that was episode 7 of Vinland Saga. A lot of fun. I really enjoyed that episode. It was fun to see, first of all, Thorfinn really coming into his own as a warrior. He's clearly an intimidating factor now. Now, is he good enough to fight Askeladd? I guess we'll find out, but my guess is probably not. Not just yet. He does seem better than just about every other warrior that they have, maybe aside from Bjorn, but he's definitely an intimidating child, that's for sure. And he surprises everybody he meets. They're not expecting, and that's such a great tool to have on their team, is this child that is so unsuspecting but so dangerous. And I'm sure that's something that Askeladd has to consider in terms of an asset to his crew and his team. Now, of course, he doesn't consider him one of his crew or team yet, maybe. Even though he sort of treats him that way. He sends him on missions and all of that. But it's all with the carrot at the end of the stick that he'll give him his duel that he's seeking for if he just does what he says. And the last thing he said was, hey, look, give me the head of a general and you'll have your duel. Which probably seemed like he was asking him to do a next to near impossible task in the near future, right? But Thorfinn found a way. He seemed bound and determined. I don't know why I didn't think of it. He cut off that guy's head and it fell into the water and he jumped in after it. And I was just like, what is he doing? Why does he care so much? And head of a general. Although they didn't really say he was a general. They said he was their leader, but I guess that is all in one the same thing, more or less, to them. But it was a fun concept, the idea that, okay, England is heading into winter. They've raided most of the profitable villages. There's not much left for them to do except kind of go inwards into the core of England And obviously, that's a much more challenging ordeal because that's where the king is located, and it's the most well-defended area of England, of course. So that's a little bit too challenging for them to take on. So what do? Well, let's branch out. Let's go to France. Let's see what they're up to and what they got going on. And of course, they have their own little speckles, their own little internal wars going on. So, hey, where there's a war, there's profit, according to Askeladd. And sure enough, they happened to come across a couple of Franks that were at each other's throats and made a deal with the Frog Titan to help him secure the castle that he was trying to brute force his way into. He wasn't doing a very good job. His strategy was, well, throw enough men at it and we'll probably break in, maybe eventually sometime, hopefully. But it wasn't working, so they made him an offer and said, look, if you don't take it, we'll just go join the other guys, and then you'll be really sorry that happened. And so he's like, all right, fine. I'll give you guys a shot. Probably not expecting much out of it, but lo and behold, when push comes to shove, these guys come out of the forest carrying their boats. With their leader on top of it, screaming and yelling. Boats that everybody thought were dragons, which I found was hilarious, by the way. And they make it to the moat of this castle, the water that's surrounding the area of the castle, and they sail their way around the big wall and into the village itself. Of course, as they're going into the village, they come across these very deadly crossbows that can just pierce through their shields and some of their armor with like nothing, like it's butter. And they're a little bit concerned about that at first. But to their surprise, Thorfinn had managed his way on top of the gates and started working through all of those crossbowmen by himself. And of course, eventually reaching the general himself, cutting off his head, and diving in the water after it. So Frog Titan was ecstatic about his victory. They bust through the doors. He's thinking he's so clever. He's even thinking about, well, I'm not going to want to deal with these Vikings later, so let's just take them out right now. And starts coming up with this vicious plan, only to find out they already beat him to it. They beat him to the treasure. They were already on their boats on the way back home, and they had even destroyed their ships, so they couldn't follow them and chase after them. And they ended up sailing over a waterfall to get away, much to Frog Titan's displeasure. Now, of course, Thorfinn makes it back onto the boat with the head of this general, looks Askeladd in the eye, and says, here you go. I gave you what you needed. Let's do this thing. As arrows are flying at them, and Askeladd's like, yeah, cool. Let's get away from this first. Then you got your duel. Now, when they reach land, will Askeladd uphold his end of the bargain? I think so. I think he'll give him another duel. Will Thorfinn be able to defeat him this time? I still don't think so. So probably what's going to happen is yet another defeat and yet another promise Askeladd will make is like, look, man, keep at it. Keep trying. Stick around with us for a little bit longer and maybe we'll get there. Because at the end of the day, I feel like Askeladd sees Thorfinn as an asset, right? He's a very gifted, talented young warrior at this point. And like I said, he's a very unsuspecting child, so he comes to quite a shock to people. They don't see him coming. And that's a very useful tool to have as a mercenary Viking pirate, all right? Somebody that can just sneak into places unsuspecting, and if things go wrong, can still defend himself and still find a way to come out on top and get you what you need. I'm curious to find out what you guys think about it. Do you guys think that Thorfinn's being a little bit naive and not realizing that Askeladd's basically just using him as a tool? Or maybe he does realize it and he's okay with it as long as he gets his duel and his chance to avenge his father. Maybe that's the case as well. So yeah, please continue on the conversation in the comment section. And as always, please like this video if you enjoyed the content today. Subscribe to my channel. It will really help me out. Also, please check out my Patreon page. A lot of really cool perks there, like ad-free content, full-length reactions. I'm about 3 weeks ahead for all of the shows on Patreon. So if you want to catch up and see where I'm at right now, consider becoming a Patreon and you'll be able to do that there. So with that said, guys, it was a fun episode. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the next one. And I'll catch you guys in the next reaction.